For the last 20 years, over 1 million people have traveled to the jungle for ayahuasca ceremonies. They fly from every part of the world: New York, London, Sydney. They have heard the stories of people seeing aliens and talking to ancestors. Some say they met God, others say they experienced their own death, or even encountered things they couldn't explain. So they go to experience all of this with their own eyes, but sometimes it never happens. They return without getting the thing they wanted. They return with confusion, with heartbreak, and questions. Some feel embarrassed, and many carry a silent disappointment they can't explain to anyone, because what they didn't know was that the ceremony was never real. Today, we're diving into how it started, how to spot it, and why it matters more than ever before. This is the fake ayahuasca paradox. Ayahuasca is known for truth. That is the promise people hear again and again, that the medicine shows you what you need to see. People come with the belief that they're going to meet a medicine that can change everything. When people book these trips, they are usually doing it because the last thing they tried didn't work. By the time they reach the jungle, their minds are already shaped by the stories they've heard. They've watched documentaries that show powerful healing. They've read articles about breakthroughs and transformations. They've heard people say they felt reborn, and deep down, they want that too. They carry that hope into the ceremony, trusting that what they're about to drink is about to change their lives forever. But something else has been happening quietly, behind the scenes, far from the stories people hear before they book their flights. At first glance, a ceremony looks traditional. The space is prepared, the facilitators are present, songs are sung, and you receive your cup of ayahuasca. But the quality of what's inside that cup can vary dramatically from one center to another. Sometimes it's deeply diluted or incorrectly prepared with almost no active alkaloids at all. It has the smell, the color, the thickness, but not the strength. It doesn't stop there. Several popular retreat centers were caught purchasing pre-made ayahuasca in bulk. Even their suppliers later admitted they watered down entire batches, sometimes stretching one pot into 5 by mixing it with plain water. This is why the ayahuasca industry has become a business, a really big one. And like any business, some people found ways to cut corners. But this is not the main tragedy of the fake ayahuasca world. The bigger conflict is happening within your own mind. You see, when a ceremony fails, people don't even consider the possibility that the brew was fake or diluted. Instead, they blame themselves. They think they did it wrong. Their mind starts whispering thoughts. Maybe I didn't surrender enough. Maybe I held on too tight. Maybe the medicine didn't want to work with me. People leave the ceremony thinking they failed, not realizing they were set up to fail before the night even started. This is the start of the paradox. The ceremony fails because the brew is fake, but your mind convinces you that you are what's broken. The real problem is in the cup, but the blame lands in your head, because ayahuasca is supposed to show you your shadows, your resistance, your blocks. So when nothing happens, or when the experience feels empty, your mind fills in the story. It tells you that you're the one who wasn't open enough, that you're the one who couldn't let go. The ceremony gives you just enough theater, just enough ritual, just enough appearance of medicine that you never question the brew itself. And that's why this paradox is so dangerous. This is where you need to know that it was not you, it was the fake medicine. Real ayahuasca doesn't ignore you. In fact, it knows how to find you wherever you are, whether you're ready, scared, confused, or holding on. It reaches into memory, emotion, and the hidden rooms of your mind. It moves through the body and the spirit with weight and purpose. So before you go to any retreat center, you should know the difference between a fake and a real one. But how do you spot it? This is where the real challenge comes. Spotting real ayahuasca from fake ayahuasca becomes difficult the moment you step into the jungle. You're far from home, surrounded by new faces, new sounds, and new rituals. But this is also the moment when most people let their guard down. They assume that being in the jungle means authenticity, that any cup handed to them must be the real medicine. The truth is that the jungle hides honesty and deception equally well, and the difference between the two is not visible in the cup, it's visible in the people serving it. The first sign is always transparency. Real centers don't hide where their vines and leaves come from. They will tell you who harvested the plants, which community they worked with, and which family prepared the brew. They will speak about the lineage openly because they have nothing to protect except the truth. Then comes the question of how the brew is made. True ayahuasca is not rushed. It takes hours of cooking, care, intention, and presence. Brew stewardship is a real practice, carried by people who treat the pot with respect. You can hear it in the way they talk about the process. You can feel it when they describe how it is stored, how it is blessed, and how it is handled. Your next clue comes from the facilitators themselves. The people guiding the ceremony should understand dosing deeply, how a first cup is measured, why some people need more, why some people need less, and how different bodies respond. Real facilitators explain this clearly because safety depends on it. Another detail is the team itself. Real ceremony teams are consistent. The same people guide the work week after week, month after month. This consistency protects the medicine and the guests. But in profit-driven centers, staff turnover is constant. Shamans rotate, helpers rotate, new people appear with little explanation. A ceremony is not something you improvise with strangers, yet some centers treat it like a shift schedule rather than a calling. And in the end, the most reliable sign is the feeling you get when you look the facilitators in the eye. Real medicine feels humble, grounded, and steady. Fake ones feel loud and shiny, as if trying to impress you. Your intuition picks this up long before your mind does. So, always look for these signs to know if you're really getting the real jungle medicine or just a fake mixed brew. But there are some retreats that are changing the world of plant medicine in a positive way. For a long time, the story of ayahuasca was shaped by shadows. But in the last few years, something unexpected has begun to rise inside the plant medicine world. There has been a new shift, a much needed one. The next generation of retreats is no longer competing on how mysterious they look. They're competing on how honest they are. You can see this change most clearly in the centers that now share their lab results openly. One of the places leading this change is Rhythmia. At Rhythmia, every guest knows exactly what's in their cup. The medicine is tested, the source is shared, and the preparation is held to the highest standard. You meet the people behind the brew, learn about the plants, and understand the tradition. The shamans at Rhythmia are trained in the Colombian tradition by respected teachers, carrying generations of wisdom. They lead with heart, humility, and deep respect for the medicine. And they're supported by a full team of doctors, nurses, facilitators, all working together to ensure every guest feels safe. This is what the future looks like, and Rhythmia is keeping up with this shift. We hold no secrets, we have no shortcuts, just truth verified by science. For the first time, people can know the strength of the medicine before they drink it, not after they guess. This is the next era of plant medicine taking shape. The centers that will stand the test of time are the ones that tell the truth, not the ones that promise the biggest breakthrough or the brightest visions. All of this shows that a new path is forming, one built on honesty, transparency, and integrity. Centers are returning to real partnerships that honor the responsibility of guiding others. The medicine is reclaiming its place through the people who refuse to treat it like a trend. Everyone who chooses to sit with ayahuasca deserves the real thing. They deserve to know what they're drinking, who made it, where it came from, and how it was prepared. And now, more than ever, they deserve the truth, because the truth is what this medicine has always been about.